Hey, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of These Corona Times. You are tuned in with your girl Tiffany and Dr. Simone, aka the tardy one this evening. And
I was here by 7:45 or whatever, 7:46.
And our good brother Brandon. Is here.
What's going on? What's going on, folks? How y'all doing?
We want to welcome y'all back. Want to thank you all for joining us. It's always, we appreciate you all tuning in. Appreciate you watching with us. We are here for, is this episode 24, 25?
25.
This is episode 25. Oh my gosh.
This is supposed to be the bloopers episode.
This is supposed to be a whole lot. This is supposed to be
the merch.
The merch episode, our Facebook Live episode. We're supposed to do a whole lot of 25. But you know,
it's Corona's fault.
Corona has gotten away from us.
We gotta do an uncensored. We gotta do it like Corona at night.
Brandon, when you sleep at night.
You go to bed early.
You know what? That's true. I can't participate now.
So this episode has a few titles. I don't even know if we even decided
on names.
Yeah.
All three.
So we are undecided, so we're gonna give you all three. Hair health in these Corona times, hair love, and then I think my favorite, you can't touch my hair. So we're gonna be talking about that this evening, and I won't take
no.
I won't take anything away from Brandon because he orients us. So I don't want to take away his orientation or anything. But we want to ask you all to continue to like and share. We want to thank you guys for hanging out with us for 25 episodes. We never thought we would make it this far.
No, we didn't.
And to be completely honest, I actually hope we did make it this far. No.
I know what you mean, but still.
I'm offended.
Y'all know what I mean, because
yes, he thought Corona would be over by now. I'm glad to still
be here with my homies, but we still deep into this Corona stuff, and I wish it was over right now, man.
I know.
That's true. So we may be here for 50 episodes. We'll just we'll hang with y'all till Corona ends, for as long as we like to say, for as long as Corona allows. So, but for real though, I never thought we'd be here for 25 either. I didn't think it was gonna last this long. We are almost at the end of the year, and of course, it's looking like we're probably gonna be in this for the beginning of next year. So everybody just hang in there, stay safe, stay sane.
Wear your mask.
Continue to wear your mask.
I think a lot of folks were holding on to hope that we'd be able to contain Corona in 2020. Like, let's not cross this over in 2021, but it's definitely going to be here, unfortunately. So we got to do what we got to do and maintain.
And this is a way to keep entertained in Corona for us. I know we've had some real heavy conversations the last couple episodes. And, I think we want to kind of get away from that just a little bit, because we're going to have plenty of time to be heavy for the rest of the year, because y'all current president is acting goofy. So I'm sure we'll have some more.
Going.
He said, I'm telling you, I'm not going.
It has a lot of rage. Can y'all see that?
Yes.
And I am telling you.
Yes. I'm reading about Bob Woodward, but we're not at self-care yet. But anyway.
Well, that's a good segue. We can talk about what we did for self-care for last week.
Sure. Who wants to go first?
I will.
Go ahead, Tim.
Me. I drank more water. It was my goal for this week. Drink more water and get back on my gym schedule. I had taken off like a week and a half. And Brandon probably knows there's nothing worse than taking off after a week or so. I mean, it's not like you're not any more or less sore than you were before, but it's like something kind of takes a little bit for my endurance to get back up to par. So that was fun this week. Woke up sore a few days this week, but all good. I'm happy to be in the gym. It's a great place of release, great place to relax, even though that's contrary to what you're doing. But if you all are going to the gym, just continue to be safe. I know Brandon works in the gym. I know Simone's mom works at the gym. So if you all are going there and numbers are going up, please continue to have safe practices. But it was great self-care for this week. I feel wonderful.
Nice. Brandon, what'd you do?
What I'm going to mention is something that I've been joked on about all week by these two. These two have been, for lack of a better phrase, clowning me for my cleaning all week long. because they just can't stand somebody being excited about cleaning.
That's not it.
No, it would. I really have been going. I've been going overboard, and I've been really excited in the polo videos that we send to each other, and so cleaning has been my self care this week. I've done a lot of cleaning. That's all I'll say.
Brandon he's very chill, but after an episode of cleaning, I'm gonna call it an episode. An episode of cleaning, he comes to the polos like, I mean, hyped up. Like, yes. I just got this done. I got that done. I'm just sitting here like.
It's the instant gratification, folks.
You know, I like to clean. I like clean stuff, but I think Brandon's on a different level than I am.
On a different level.
I've never experienced this. Also, Brandon, I think you had some takers in the last polo who wanted you to come clean their house when you got done. I'm sorry, in the last episode, they were commenting that you could clean their house later. So, you know, you might have a little business started up here.
Listen, if I could, I wouldn't even mind having a cleaning business. Real talk, I wouldn't mind doing it. I really do like cleaning that much.
Mm-hmm. There's a difference between cleaning your stuff and cleaning other people's stuff.
That's true too. That's true.
So just hold on a second. Just
pause on that.
Well, I have continued my reading. I'm pretty sure that's what I was doing at night. I think I told you I finished my first Trump book, and now I'm reading the Bob Woodward book just because I'm fascinated. Mm-hmm. So that book, in addition to my Jennifer Lewis books, I'm kind of going back and forth between those two. And I'm using my Audible app for the first time in a long time. So what else did I say I was going to do?
That was
it.
Yeah.
That was it.
I wish your Jennifer Lewis book had been an audio book as well.
If she's reading it, I might go ahead and listen to it on Audible because I'm reading it in her voice.
Mm-hmm. You have to.
You have to. Absolutely. So we, as usual, we want to acknowledge greatness within our community, the Black community. And because our episode is about hair this week, we want to highlight the businesses and the people that do our hair. So Tiff, you want to start us off since you're at the top? We can all speak to this one though.
Yeah, sure. So want to shout out.
Sorry, maybe not necessarily Tiffany, but Brandon. I don't know, whoever.
But no, Tiff, go ahead, Tiff. Since you already started, go ahead, Tiff.
My bad.
It's all right.
We've all gone to her.
Yes, we have. The other person that Brandon's gonna mention, we all have experienced. But I want to give a shout out to my stylist at C&R Beauty Bar. Her name is Rika. And they are located in the Highlands of Louisville, Kentucky. I believe the address is 1916 Barstown Road, and we'll share their website in the slides while this is playing. But, you know, they are a wonderful hair salon. They do natural hair. They also do textured, relaxed hair as well. They're affordably priced. They are expert stylists. And what I really like about them is that they like to educate their clients as well. They don't just come in and do your hair and send you out. They talk to you about products. They teach you how to do things to your hair. And Simone probably knows this more so than anybody else. I do not like touching my hair. I have never been a hair person. I've never liked to do my hair. I'm one of those people who wrap it up, comb it down, put it in the ponytail. That's it for me. So this year has really been a transformative year for me because with the salon closed, I've had to learn how to do things to my hair while we were closed during COVID. So I only know how to do 2-strand twists because my stylist taught me. So that's why I really like them, is because they do spend time like making sure you know about your hair and hair health. So hit them up if you're in the area looking for a stylist. Again, they're practicing COVID protocols right now, so it's a very safe salon. Only one client in at a time. It's really nice and a really dope experience. So hit them up if you're looking for somebody in the area.
Rika is one of the owners, or is the owner, right?
They're co-owners. So Rika and
co-owner.
Rika.
Okay.
Yes.
So Rika actually did my hair for my wedding. Mm-hmm. Way back in the day. So yep, I definitely co-sign. She's wonderful, and it's a great place to go. Okay, Brandon, sorry, go ahead.
My turn now? You sure?
Mm-hmm. It's your turn.
So my stylist, Judith Bentley, is amazing. Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
There is nothing she can't do.
Truly.
Seriously, she has held me and my family down for years. And so she is Locks by Jay. So you can find her on Instagram, Locks by JB. for Judith Bentley. And there's also, we're going to send out, I think on the slide, the website to kind of get her to booking information out there and everything as well. I see her this Friday, but I've been on my natural hair growth journey for probably 4 or so years, and she's been the only person that's touched my hair so far. And it's healthy. It's healthier than it's ever been. She's taught me some things as well. Her styles are, some people just have those blessed hands, and she's just one of those people.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah. Jew has probably braided all of our hair at some point in time. We all come from the same church, and Jew also belonged to our church. So used to be the braider of Magazine Street. So I know when I was summertime natural, which is when you when you take a break from your relaxer in the summer. Judith used to be my braider, and I mean, outside of my stylist I go to now, she's probably the only person that I would go to and let do things to my hair.
Yep. Love Judith. She's fast. She don't say too much. She is fast. She gets it done. And yeah.
I'm getting my wash, retwist, and style this week.
Look, we can't wait. We are waiting too.
Yes.
It's been 7 weeks.
So as you all know, for folks watching, if you watch this for any length of time, you know that I moved from Louisville. So I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. And the place that I go is a place called Different by Design. So I've had a relationship with my stylist for about a year. And as somebody who I had a baby 5 years ago, well, almost 5 years ago. And so after that, my hair went through major, I'm gonna call it trauma, like major shedding, as many women experience. And since I've been here, she has really, really, really helped me to get my hair to grow back. I still have some problem areas, but she has really, really helped me, and has, like Tiff was saying, it's great for people to explain to you what they're doing to your hair and why they're doing it, and then help you understand how to take care of it after, when you go home. Because as somebody who's natural, I don't go to the hairdresser every week or anything. It's every couple months. So definitely want to shout out Different by Design.
One thing.
Go ahead, Brandon.
I was just going to comment, you two, both of you have like super healthy hair. Your edges are intact.
You're gonna get red for filth for that. You're gonna get red. Yes,
Tiff did a video earlier, and during our polos, I keep the same style. My style, it's going to be up. It's going to be in a lock style, or it's going to be down like this. Tiff and Simone have multiple styles, and sometimes we'll see like 5 different styles from Simone in a day.
Same day.
Whatever.
But it looks healthy. Same with Tiff. Tiff did a polo today when she had the fro just out. It was super healthy. So it's a beautiful thing that their stylists are not only doing their hair, but teaching them how to be healthy.
And I was just gonna say, Simone, it's gonna be real sad when you have to leave Different by Design when you come back home.
Delusions. I
never miss opportunities to throw it out there.
I love that how you went back there.
Yes.
Always have to circle back to that.
So Brandon, was that your orientation? Or are you gonna give an additional?
I'm actually doing a real orientation.
Okay.
So we came upon this because one of the things that we all have in common, me on a lesser scale, is hair, and what we have to do with our hair, and how these things have changed. And when you are during these days and time, we're talking about blackness and things along those lines. Hair is a huge, huge, huge part of that. And shops were closed down for quite a while, so we had to learn, what to do, like how to actually maintain our health, our hair health, and what styles to put it in, how to layer it, how to cover it when we're going to sleep, what products to use, and all those things. And so we were just like, man, let's just have a whole episode of hair. And because hair is a big, big, big part for us. I know for me, I started my lock journey in April. Tiff this year is, touching her hair for the first time.
It's so new.
Simone it's like every other week we see her doing something, some type of style, something in the bathroom.
My hair be pulled back. If I'm a mother now, I don't have the time. But back in the day, I was
your
doing
hair's
some
been
things.
up. Yeah.
But it's not cute though. It's just like, how can I get it out of the way?
Them polos that you can't be, you don't have the videos in. It's all audio, and you be in the bathroom
doing stuff to her hair.
Oh, okay. but hair is important, I think, and hair is an important expression piece for Black folks. You know, how we have our hair, the designs that we have. We are so blessed to be able to do like anything you want to do to your hair. You can either have it up, you can have an updo, you can have it pulled back, you can have it twisted, you can have it locked, you can have it braided, you can have it rolled out, you can have a fade cut. I think Kaden started going to the barbershop what about 2 months ago?
Something like that. Yeah.
Like a little man now. You know, getting designs in his hair. My son's going to the barbershop every couple of weeks. So for Black people, hair is huge. It is massive. So, but why don't just do a little episode on it?
And it's controversial too. And I think that I guess I'm still in a kind of like election mode. But when I think about our new administration and how diverse it is, we've got Kamala Harris, we've got what was the woman's name in Georgia? Stacey Abrams. I mean, we have a lot.
Laid up, boy.
Always. The woman in DC. I should have these people's names. The one who changed the names is Black Lives Matter Boulevard.
The mayor.
Yes.
Bowser. There you go.
Okay. So I think we're going to start seeing more diversity within our political realm again, and with that is going to come just different hairstyles, you know, and the different idea of what's acceptable and what isn't in the business and political realm. I think we were there before, but then we kind of got away from it because things got real white in the administration. And my hope is that we're going to get back to that. So I think that was one of the motivations behind wanting to do the episode.
Yeah. And going back to what Brandon said, when you started out in your orientation, sir, you said hair for you to a lesser extent compared to Simone and I, but I would argue that you actually been natural longer than I have. And prior to, like, I just always see you posting about what you were washing your hair with, or what products you were using, or what you were trying out. So, you know, I think
that's true.
Yeah, you've really been, you know, dabbling in the hair too. So I know your guys' styles are a little not as versatile as females can be sometimes, but you know, I think you've been educating yourself and also growing your hair. I mean, you've come a long way.
That compliment from Tiff. Wow.
Definitely. I know I went natural by accident because I was on the same track. We all used to do some of the, you know, natural in the summertime. You get your braids, and then when it's time for school to start, you start pressing or relaxing. And it was so long ago. I don't even remember the year. I was in college though, undergrad. And still learning. So it's definitely a journey. I think it makes sense they call it a hair journey because it really is that.
Yeah. And so Simone is so knowledgeable about some of the stuff. Like I remember when she used to try to talk me into going natural, and we'd be having conversations about wash days and routines and stuff, and I'd be like, what are you talking about? Why would I do that? Why do I need to put the clear bag on my head and sit under? Why do I need to do that, Simone? You know, she was telling me all kinds of moisture and rice and what is it, porosity or whatever.
You said rice. That's a whole other topic.
That's a whole other conversation for another time. But there was many a Friday nights before I went natural where I'd be talking to Simone till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and she'd be doing her hair for church the next day and to explain to me what she was doing. And I was just like, I will never be able to do that. I'm never going to be able to do that. And, you know, talking about how our hair journeys began, I had attempted to go natural once before. And it was I just stopped getting perms. I didn't do the big chop or whatever. I just stopped getting relaxers. And I was going to see how long I could go. And I was going for a good amount of time. And I was just getting my hair braided all the time. So I get my hair braided, take it out, get my hair braided again, take it out. And then I was like, you know, maybe I should start learning more about this. So I watched one YouTube video. And one girl said, if you're not going to ever do anything but braid up your hair, you shouldn't be natural. And I was like, I shouldn't be natural.
She just killed your whole spirit.
It killed me because then she was talking about hair products and, you know, different, the wash routine came in and I was just like, I don't play with my hair. So I was really discouraged because I don't do stuff to my hair. I'm one of those people who have always gone to the hairdresser every 2 weeks. You know, I'm that type of girl and I don't play in my hair. My sister plays in her hair. I'm not the one to do the styling and everything. So the second time I did it was because, like Simone was saying, I had a hair trauma issue and my hair was breaking off. And actually went to go see Rika to kind of get a consult. And by the end of the discussion, she was like, "How would you feel about having a big chop?" And at first I was like, "No," but then I was like, "Yeah, you know, I mean, it was breaking. My hair was breaking in places, so why not?" So we did, and I mean, I best decision I ever made. And I mean, when I tell you my hair, I got the big chop. I got a big chop. Like I probably had like maybe this much hair when I left her, and you know, as Brandon was talking about, it's gotten much healthier. And I mean, honestly, this is for somebody who's been having relaxers for 30 plus years. I can probably say this is the longest my hair has ever been. This is the healthiest my hair has ever been. And part of that is just by getting educated on my hair too. I can't put it all in the hands of my stylist because, like Simone said, we only see them like maybe every 6 weeks or so. So, you know, we've been, I think it's really important somebody said once to me before, like you have to learn, it's really important to learn how to manage your hair. And I'm like, wow. And Simone says it all the time. Like you should know how to manage the hair that grows out of your head. So that's
the thing. Yeah. It's like, what does it mean that we don't know that we don't like the way that the hair that comes out of our scalp looks? Like, who taught us that?
Oh, you know who.
I know. And we internalized it.
Yeah.
We internalized it big time.
Yeah.
You did.
Well, I mean, we're talking about, go ahead, Brandon.
No, go ahead.
If we're going to talk about the history of Black hair, you know, let's just go back to thinking that hair in its natural state is nappy and unacceptable. And in order to be seen as anything, your hair needs to be straight. It needs to be pressed, needs to be pulled back. You know, you need to look more pristine. So
Eurocentric view.
Very much so.
And for men, it is close cut. It is, you know, the shape up. It's the beard being trimmed. It's all of those things. I remember actually being threatened with suspension from the first high school that I went to when I got twist. I had I don't know if I told you know what, I didn't tell you all this.
No. So for those baby twists, they was gonna put you out for those baby twists.
But you know, no, this is crazy though. We were Vicky, well, formerly known as Vicky Gill. She twisted my hair. Right? It's a good church friend that we've had a long time ago. Oh well, still is. Yeah. But she twisted my hair. We had some event at church on a Sunday, and she was over to twist my hair on that Sunday. I went to school on a Monday, and I was told that my hair violated the policy, and if I didn't wash it out that day, then if I came back the next day with it, I would get suspended. And so at that point, I took it out. You know, I was a freshman or sophomore. You know, for that, and so I didn't know what else to do. I mean, it was that, and looking back on it, it was just like, you want to suspend me?
What'd your parents say?
I don't even remember. But it was like, you want to suspend me because my hair is in twist? My hair is in the natural way that it grows?
Like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Brent, I think your story is probably similar to a lot of I think just think about other classmates in high school. I don't really recall too many other girls in school being natural or having natural hairstyles like twists or anything like that. And I know the guys definitely couldn't. Like, I know some guys that would get cornrows over the summer or whatever, of course. And by the time school year started, they couldn't wear their hair like that. And that, you know, I know Simone and I both went to traditional high school, so that wasn't part of the traditional program. You know, guys couldn't do that. I know that as far as girls, if we had braids, we couldn't do like different color hair in our braids or anything like that. It had to be like all the same color hair. And then again, you just would rarely see it. I just can't remember really any of my classmates wearing their hair in different styles like these during my school years.
Yeah, it was not the end thing to do. Everybody's hair was pretty much relaxed. And for me, that really did not work for me. And that's a really long story, but I struggled for a really long time to really get any hair on my head at all because the relaxers, like to have strong, healthy hair, the relaxers did not mesh well with me, but my family didn't know what else to do. And so that's what I had to deal with. And I didn't know of any other way. And so I really struggled back then. That definitely impacted my confidence because I just wasn't getting the same results as some of the other girls. And I don't know why. I just wasn't. And so I think now, now that I have have Caden, I was really pushing back on like the clean cut look. And even now his hair isn't like, we didn't cut it all off. We still have a little bit on the top because I want him to be able to do things. I don't like the idea of just making them look like, I don't know, look professional at that age. Like let them play, let them be creative, let them just be
Caden's
free.
4.
Right, he's 4. I know, but I was very cognizant, and I think that's why it took such a long time for us to finally make the decision to cut his hair because I just want him to be free and have his curls and be wild. And his hair is like, it's a really good, how he is how his hair was, if that makes sense. Wild. Yes. Curly and just out there. That's his personality. So I was like, his hair should match his personality.
Yes.
Yeah, I think what Caden has is very similar with Josiah because Caden's older. Josiah, my son, he's 3. He has a very similar style to Caden where it's party on the top.
Business on the
side.
Yeah.
And we just let it go. And we let it go.
Yeah.
And, I think, I'm not sure how Caden is, but I know how my son is. When he gets a haircut, he's like, "Daddy, look at my hair."
Yeah.
Look at my hair. That's just how important it is and how it's ingrained in us. The barbershop experience, like getting your hair cut or your hair done, that experience, that added bit of confidence is just like,
yeah,
crazy.
Yeah. Caden's like, I'm like, okay, sit down.
Caden's trying to check for Abby Phillips. That's what he's doing. He's checking.
That's exactly what he's doing. Exactly. But going to back to what I was saying, you got to cut that out. You're gonna have to.
No, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna let him fight that battle at home later.
Oh my God. Anyway, I know we're talking specifically about hair discrimination. You all had put some clips down there, but when I think about some of the things that have happened to our like young Black kids, like that young boy on the wrestling team.
Yes.
He was trying to wrestle, and in the middle of the match, or right before, there was like, "Oh, you need to cut your hair." What?
Right.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I just pulled that again before you got on, so we had to put links in, just make sure we have these things for later. And I had to remind myself of the story. It was like, cut your hair or forfeit. And they was literally standing there cutting his hair. And of course it was white people standing there cutting his hair. And I'm just like, why are we doing that? I think, what did his locks have to do with how he wrestled? Like, I don't understand.
Nothing
at all.
I would have been like, well, I guess it's over. I guess we forfeiting. Come on, son.
But that hits me a little bit more now because I know, because he's had some good length on those locks of his. And so I know what that process entails. I know how long that took. I know keeping it nice and healthy and everything like that, what it took to do all that. And it's just like, dang, like you had to cut that in order to play a sport. That's just
yeah. I feel like it's not fair. Like you got kind of blindsided in the moment. Like it wasn't like the day before the match they told him, hey, you can't wrestle unless you cut your hair, and at least you have 24 hours to think about it. It's like in the moment, and we don't know what that child's if that's wrestling is a scholarship for him, or if he's like, a real avid wrestler, or if he's riding on this as an athlete or whatever. You don't know what's going through his head. And they tell you the day of during the match, like that you have to cut your hair or you can't go on. So, you kind of get blindsided by trying to make such a difficult decision, because like we said, hair is really important. We want to normalize in this episode like being proud of your hair. But how are you supposed to make a split decision like that? And then you may have your whole career or your whole, the rest of your high school athleticism is riding on that one decision.
Going back to what Simone said earlier, this is hair that's growing out of our scalps naturally. That's the crazy thing.
Right now, at this moment, there's hair coming out.
Follicles are forming.
1 millimeter per day. But this is the hair that's growing out of our scalps, and it is monitored. It is, for lack of a better phrase, it is policed. It is used as a form of discrimination.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
how you weaponize hair. Mm-hmm. Like, white supremacy is in everything that we do. Like, what in the world? We about to wrestle. We about to win a competition, and you say, "Wait a minute, so-and-so's hair is in locks." What? What? What is the rationale? I don't understand. I mean, like on your job, like getting, as Brandon said, policed or using hair against you. Like, are people not given jobs or not given opportunities or passed over because of the hairstyles that they wear? The answer is yes, absolutely.
Yep. And that, to me, that doesn't mean we don't talk. There are safety things that need to be addressed with certain hair for certain jobs. Mm-hmm. That's cool. We can get with that.
Yeah.
But outside of those things, why is it even a deal?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I have had so many conversations about whether or not natural hair is professional at work.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to figure out how it's not professional. And these have not been with people in my workplace, mind you. These have been, sometimes the biggest battle is with our own people. As far as, like, I will say,
absolutely,
in the Black community, there are some divisions. Of course, there's divisions based on the color of your skin, the how light or dark you are. There's also a very big division based on whether or not you go straight or natural. So sometimes, the biggest proponents of these discussions come from people who look like me, whose hair may be different, maybe straight. I mean, for a minute, it was me. I mean, I'll admit and say that before I used to think that wearing your natural hair in the job was not professional. But now who's to say? And I mean, I'm not even saying that because my hair has changed. I think my whole idea around hair has changed since I've gotten older and become more into the professional realm. But now who is to say what your hairstyle is determines how professional you are?
Right.
It has nothing to do with it. And it's more about the standard and who gets to set the standard and who says what's appropriate and who says, what styles are inappropriate. And I think that, you're right. We have a lot of, when we talk about, complexion, we're talking about colorism, right? When we're talking about hair, then we're talking about texturism. And there are certain textures that it's okay to wear out. If you have that, long straight or that nice wave or that S curl, it's okay. It's not right, that good hair. But if it's kinky, like definitely mine is, then no, you need to slap a relaxer in that, or you need to put a wig on and hide it because it's not professional. And when you think about self-hatred, I mean, that's oftentimes what it kind of boils down to.
Yeah. And there are certain things that me as a man don't have to get with or have to experience because I am a man. For guys, we can have that whole, party on the top. That's party on the top, business on the sides. As long as we got a nice little shape up, we got all that going. We are men, a lot of Black men. That's a popular hairstyle. But so for women, having curls and wearing that out, and again, I know like this much about it because I am not a woman, but there's a whole lot more that women have to go against than someone like myself do.
Yeah, but Brandon, you've worked at the same place for a long time, and you worked there before you were natural. Going from having a low cut all the time to growing your hair out, did you experience any differences?
No, actually, I did not. I did
Mm-hmm.
not. I did not see that. Now, the one thing that I get more. There's more discussion about my hair. So I will say for me and in my experience, my hair currently has not, to my knowledge, hindered me from any advancement or anything along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
From my health education job to my personal training job, uh, I've had twists, I've had braids, I've had multiple styles within the last 3 years or so,
Mm-hmm.
and I have still been able to have some type of upward mobility. I've still continued to have clients, but what has changed is like, oh my gosh, your hair!
Look at it. How does it do
Oh,
that?
wow!
Mhm.
How long does it take?
Oh yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
number one
No,
question.
put your hand down.
And I'm quick with it. I see this and I'm like, oh, oh.
But Brandon, I have a question.
Yes.
Because of your profession, is it like I almost feel like because you're a personal trainer and you do health types of things, do we see a lot of health professionals, like Black health professionals, having hair like yours? Is that a thing? For some reason, I feel like
It's not a thing, actually.
it's not a thing. Okay.
It's not really.
Okay.
It's something that's there. I do
Mm-hmm.
know of trainers that do have, braids, cornrows, and locks, this, that, and the other. But when you look at a lot of
Mm-hmm. It's
uh,
not a trend.
black men, you'll
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
see that a lot of black men have a fairly low cut. You'll see that that same style, party up top,
Mm-hmm.
business on the sides.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's not to say that I'm the only trainer or health educator with twist and whatnot, but uh, there's not a the percentage is not, from what I've seen, very high for that.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. I think for me, because of my job and what I do, and I guess the population I work at a college counseling center, and so it's very social justice oriented. So folks, there is no hair discrimination. People want you, at least they say that they want you to show up as your authentic self. Now, what I will say though is I am definitely more likely to get comments when my hair is straight. Like a couple weeks ago, I had my hair straight, and of course, I didn't see my colleagues like face to face, but on all the calls, oh my gosh, your hair is so long. It looks so pretty. I might not get that from my colleagues when I just have my natural hair.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wearing my twist.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I might, but it's always definitely when it's straight. And I don't know if that's because they deem that hairstyle as just more appropriate or more attractive. Maybe they think I look more attractive that way, or if it's just because it's really, really different and it's straight. They're not used to seeing that.
Mm-hmm. I work on a college campus as well, and I'm a librarian, so I'm amongst other librarians who are already kind of versatile in nature. They're already kind of expressive and different, sometimes by way of their hair color or whatnot. So I was fortunate enough that when I became a faculty member, there were at least two other female African American faculty members who were already rocking natural hairstyles. So they kind of paved the way for me in my job where it wasn't so strange if my hair was different or if my hair was braided or twisted or up in a fro or down in a fro. Like there was really no question. But I have gotten a lot of when I got married, I did a sew-in because I wanted like hair down my back, and my hair wasn't there yet. So I did a sew-in at that time. And I remember when I went to work after the wedding, because last time people had saw me, they probably saw me with braids. I can't remember when they were like, "Oh my gosh, it's your hair. Your hair is so long. How'd your hair get like that?" And then of course, when I took my sew-in out, my hair went, goes back to this size. And they're like, "What happened? Did you cut your hair?" There's so many questions. It was just like, I wish we didn't have, I appreciate sometimes the compliments to the hair. I'm fine with that, but I wish sometimes there weren't so many questions. Sometimes I feel like I have to spend time explaining to you
Mm-hmm.
why hair does what it does. Or, like even now, if somebody has seen me hadn't seen me in a minute, they might think my hair is short because, of course, shrinkage. Nobody knows that, hair draws up when it gets wet. So I just hate sometimes having to go through the explanation of how it's this way, or like Brandon said, how long did that take? And I have to be like, well, you gotta braid it down first, and then you gotta sew it in, and then you got just all the processes.
It's magic.
Yeah,
and then walk away.
I mean, sometimes I've been like, I just got it like that, just walk off the conversation. But that's definitely been, I think, one of the things. It's like I've never felt discriminated against. Like Brandon said, I never felt like I was held back or anything for it. I do think that's probably because I'm not the first. So I do definitely appreciate the two that came before me in that realm, because I'm sure they probably had questions, or people probably had concerns, or may have looked at them differently. But the questions, man, sometimes the questions.
Yeah, but it's funny when you talk about the questions. To me there's a fine line, and I know that I have white clients who weren't exposed to a lot of Black culture. And so I may be one of, if not the only Black person they may see or interact with. And so I think, to me, certain questions are okay for me in my situation. If someone says, man, how long does that take? Oh, it takes a couple hours. Oh, okay, cool. How long will that last? Oh, it'll last you for about 4 weeks. So, man, that looks really nice, Brandon. Man, that's really, really nice. And if we keep it rolling, I'm cool with that. It's when the entire topic of conversation is hair, and it's like, yo, it's just hair, man. This is just hair. Like, you don't got to spend 30 minutes on my hair. Like,
I get where you're thinking, Brandon, because sometimes our white brother and sister, and sometimes their hair is not as textured as ours, so it doesn't really do as many versatile things. It's always straight or it's always down. They may or may not pull it up or whatever. So I get the kind of like, oh, that's neat. I kind of wish my hair would do those things, but I just don't want you to ask me so many questions.
I think for me, it always goes back to relationship for me. If we talk about other things, if we talk about random things, if we text each other, if we got a rapport, then I will entertain your questions.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? But if I don't talk to you, don't come up, just don't do it. I'm like, why? Because it's like a I don't know, like an exotification thing, that's not the right word, I don't think, but y'all know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Oh, you're so different.
Exoticizing.
Right. Exoticizing.
But for real, I have been stopped. I've been stopped, when Judith, Locks by JB, has done, and I've walked such and such place, and I have been stopped by random white people, and be like, oh my gosh, wow. And this is like, I don't know you. Like, okay. It's nice. Okay.
I wonder what other thoughts are coming up for them. Black men. I'm sorry. I can't help it. They do the over sexualizing. You're tall, you're muscular, you're fit, and then your hair looks. I just wonder what they thinking. I'm not complimenting you, so just watch all that.
You already got one compliment.
They might see. Yeah, they might see.
I got you. I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you. No, I got you. No. But I think there's a lot of the word that we're going to use tonight. A lot of exotification on that. Yeah, I agree.
Well, not just that, but stereotypes, right? Like, I mean, how many times have I seen a crime bulletin for my school where it's like black man, cornrows, hoodie, sweatpants? I'm like, why is it's like we oftentimes associate hairstyle with bad activity sometimes. I'll say, especially for guys. Like, if you have braids, you might be, a thug. If you have locks, you might be a weed head. It's just association.
Or if you have braids, and you wear a wig, or you're fake, or you hate yourself, or something like that. And we should also say too that yes, we're natural, but this is not. We're not saying we don't appreciate people who have relaxed hair.
Yeah.
Not at all. There is nothing. I think that's the whole point of this episode is normalizing all hair. However you want to wear your hair is fine. It's just that there's one type of way that has been deemed acceptable. And we're just saying we have to be more inclusive of everybody.
Yeah.
Because we do that to each other as well. Like, why you got a perm? Well, why not? Like, because
your hair is your business.
That's her business.
Your hair is your business.
Exactly.
And we don't know situations like so-and-so always wears a wig. Why is that? Well, maybe so-and-so can't grow hair. There's so much stuff. And the older I'm getting, I'm just like, I'm learning to just mind my own business. Like what somebody else is doing doesn't impact me. So what they're doing with what somebody else is doing with their hair, it's like, cool.
Yeah, let it be. I mean, if you decide, Brandon, you don't want the locks anymore and you cut your hair, we're going to let it be. If Simone and I decide we ever want to go back to relaxers, it will be what it is. And I mean, honestly, if you want to, the great thing about hair is it's never like one thing. You can undo what you did, so even if you cut it off, it's going to grow back, sometimes better and stronger if you cut it off. If you go to a relaxer, you can switch back. If you go natural, you can switch back. I mean, there's endless possibilities of things that you can do with your hair.
Yeah, and it takes patience, and of course there are folks who have conditions, alopecia or track alopecia, whatever, and that makes it difficult for them to grow hair, or maybe they have illnesses where they've lost their hair,
or they're on medication that causes hair.
Exactly. And so we have to just not, like they were saying, not judge people. Let people do what they want to do with their hair. This is funny though that we're talking about this because Tiffany is the type that wants all the hair in a specific place.
I do.
It's got to be neat and orderly. I am the opposite. And we talked about like, what does our hair say about us? I feel like mine is, yes, I'm serious with things, but I also don't take myself too seriously. So when you see me on the polos, as y'all said, it could be looking crazy. I don't want my hair perfect. Like even when I have my twists, I like them fuzzy, and that's me. But Tiffany, it's got to be symmetrical.
It does. I spent a lot of time making sure this was not lopsided, was even on both sides.
And look at me today. It's all right.
Listen, old Brandon would not allow fuzziness. Old Brandon was like, all right, I'm doing this style. I don't know how it's going to be received, but it's going to be fresh. So regardless, but now as I'm getting older, it's just like, shoot, I got the fuzzies going on right now. It's been 7 weeks since my hair has been retwisted.
We've been counting the weeks.
I like it. I tell Brandon, let the fuzziness be. Let one be this way. I'm good.
I am cool with the fuzzies. I am cool because that is how it's naturally growing. It's naturally growing out of my head like that. And so that doesn't mean I don't get it retwisted. That just means I'm not beholden to a certain standard that white supremacy states that I have to be beholden to.
I be trying to save Brandon because sometimes his spiders be pointing upwards. His antennas going like this. I'm trying to help my friend.
I'm like, let him go.
Listen, and I gotta agree with Tiff a lot of times because sometimes they be like this.
See,
and so until they get a little bit longer, I gotta monitor that. But for the most part, man, it's just like I'm letting them be.
I think mine's the keeping everything straight and stuff. I think it's just reflected. I'm still kind of learning and also trying to undo a lot of what I've learned about my hair for 30 so years. I always thought it has to be this way. It's always got to be straight. It's all, I wasn't a big curly person before, pre-relaxer. I always like my hair more straight than curly. Didn't like it on my face. Like I had like all kinds of situations about hair characteristics. But I feel like now it's like I'm learning, I'm accepting it a little bit more, like the freedom of natural hair and what it offers, but I'm still kind of trying to get to a place where I feel comfortable kind of letting my hair hang out. So like earlier today when I came to the polos, I had just taken all my braids out and my hair was like out here and kind of wild. And, Brandon was like, you should leave it like that. And I'm like, I don't I'm not ready. I'm not ready yet. I don't feel comfortable doing it yet. I'm trying to get there and I'm working on it. But I think that's probably what my hair probably says about me right now is I'm just a work in progress. Simone, leave me alone. I like things straight.
Can we talk about, yes, you are still learning, of course, but do we want to tell people about the bobby pins?
Sure.
Do we want to tell them about, because Tiffany has a thing with things being neat and orderly, okay? This transcends hair. Yes. She always gotta have everything lined up, her washes are lined. I'm like, just mess it all up.
No.
So that's what I do. That's what I do.
See,
mess
again,
it all up.
I think it goes beyond the hair. It's actually a reflection of me. I do like stuff decent and order. And
yes, that is definitely a you thing.
Yes. That is definitely you. And I come in, Tiff will turn her head and I'll mess up her bobby pins. And she's like, no.
She disrupts my stuff all the time.
We're good balance. We're good balance.
But like we've talked about, we have so much unlearning to do when it comes to our hair, and in a white supremacy system, what our hair actually means to us and the freedom that we have with our hair. It's a lot of unlearning that we have to do.
And amongst ourselves, because again, some of the comments that were negative that I actually have received have been from people that look like me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, and in the church, there's a couple people in particular. Why you got your hair looking like that?
Why you do your hair like that?
Nappy.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you see that nice young lady over there with the nice straight hair? I mean, literally just straight, just not even trying to be nice. Just your hair doesn't look good. I'm like, oh, stop.
Lots of shade. Lots of shade.
And you just have to laugh at, I mean, and it goes back to respect too, because these are older folks. I'm not going to tell anybody off, right? Plus we go way back. But, and I can honestly say, like, for me, it doesn't hurt me because there's so much support coming in the opposite direction. There's so much support with people like, saying, yeah, I like that, looks nice. So when people say things like that, it doesn't hit me the same way as it would have maybe 10 years ago.
Man, we are in the golden, I think we're in the golden age of hair.
Age of acceptance. I think so. Yeah.
We're in the golden age. I think right now there's so much stuff that we are able to do. There's so much more that we understand. There's a really good friend that I have. She was one of the first people I knew that, and she has like so much ridiculous amounts of hair. And she had mentioned when she started her process, there was nothing available. She had to learn through like trial and error in a random book in a library. And now we have all these Black-owned hair brands, these Black-owned products, these YouTube channels, Instagram channels that are devoted to teaching us what to do with our hair, and how there's so much more that we can do. We are really in that golden age of like we don't have to be clean cut. Here's how we can keep our quote unquote natural hair nice and healthy and styled and all that stuff.
And availability of products. Like I was just thinking about when I was telling my story about the first time I tried to go natural and I went to a store to look for something, I really couldn't find anything and I didn't know what to look for. There was like one brand, Shea Moisture.
That's it.
And I did not know what to do with any of the products that were there. So, even now going in, and I'm talking about mainstream stores like Target, Walmart, and actually seeing like whole sections that say natural beauty, natural hair. Walgreens, yes, the go-to Walgreens.
And it's gotten bigger. It used to be one little sliver, and now
it's grown.
It's expanded.
Right. It used to be like just five little products in that one spot, and now it's like a whole section.
Before you'd have to go to like Sally's or your neighborhood hair store if you wanted to find natural hair products. But I'm just so impressed now that it's more acceptable. I'm talking about I'm in the East End of Louisville, and there's a whole section for natural hair. That's pretty cool. And then as Simone said earlier, you have more folks in the mainstream who are wearing their hair naturally. That is also really helping us accept that natural hair is not bad. Natural hair is not nappy. This is not ugly. There are some very beautiful hairstyles that I've been seeing like on television, in politics, singers, actors coming forward. Just really, I think it's really giving us license to feel more comfortable and confident in our hair.
Now y'all let Kamala Harris come out with some box braids though. What's gonna happen?
They already talking about she coming out with Timberlands. They already have an issue.
They will go forward with impeachment proceedings on the whole Biden administration if Kamala walks in with some box braids. But
we'll wait till the summer.
go ahead, Brandon.
Wait till the summer and protective style kicks in. We're gonna see.
Hey, she don't need that. She don't need that. When she on Air Force One or Air Force Two, she
with the bonnets on.
Protective style.
Wrap that hair up. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up and go to sleep. But there was a lady here in Louisville. I just pulled it up. Her name is Renee Murphy. She currently works for
JCPS, right?
But before she was a news anchor for WHAS, I believe.
Yes.
And so she had a whole big thing about what she used to do with her hair, and she was like, "Wait a minute!" And what her thing was, she said, "I currently have an afro. I thought about coming to work several times with it out, but always decided against it. Would it be too much? But really, what is too much?" And so at that point, she started wearing her hair more naturally, and then it just became just a thing. And how there's so much pressure, not just in our lives, but in more professional and more TV life and film and everything like that.
Yeah, for sure. And I was just thinking back in the day when I went natural, like the only so Jennifer Ryans, of course, is the person that got me natural, got me started on my journey. But there was Curly Nikki. That was like the only place that I knew of at the time. You go to the website and she would have all of these different hairstyles. And now I think that website is kind of debunked, and now like it's gone pretty much. It's turned into something else. And now there's just so much out there. But I also think about, like we were talking about our kids and how to just increase their visibility and representation. And so I know that, Brandon and me were talking about a while ago, making sure that characters in the books that we read to our kids have Black characters who have hair that looks like theirs. We've got Chocolate Me, and, hair love. There's movies, little short films about, hair love. And it's so important to do that early because we did not have that growing up. And we're, like Brandon said, we are trying to unlearn these things. And it's wonderful to see kids really engaged in that and loving themselves and growing up with this idea that how their hair grows out of their head is acceptable. There's no other way. Like, well, this is me. Like, there's nothing wrong here.
Yeah. My daughter, she is 7 years old. She has not had, and again, this is not to say that nobody should ever get a perm, that nobody should get a relaxer, nobody should straighten their hair. But my daughter is 7 years old, and she's never had any. She's only had that done one time because she wanted to see how long her hair was, so she let it straighten. But for the most part, my daughter's hair is either braided or in two-strand twist, and she thinks nothing of it. My wife's hair is like that. My wife's hair is locked. My hair is getting
lock-ish.
So all my daughter knows is that type of hair. And so if she decides to get, a relaxer later on, that's fine. But she will have grown up knowing that this is normal. This is normal.
Exactly.
And of course, we buy all the books for her. There's another book that's really good. It's called oh my gosh, Hair Magic, I believe. That's a really good book, but really showing and representation matters, whether you believe it or not. Representation matters. So there is that whole section of books that we have for my daughter that it's called her Black Girl books. And so, it's a book, Ada Twist Scientist, and it's a Black girl that is a scientist, and she asks all these types of questions, and her hair looks very similar to my daughter's. And so all that stuff that's used to kind of normalize the type of hair that she has. And again, if she chooses to cut her hair off or get a perm or a wig or a sew-in or whatever, that's fine. but it's not going to be because she thinks what her hair is bad. It's going to be because she wants to do it, which is which is a totally different mind state.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And not only that, but I think about what it will mean, if there is hair discrimination later on, and how we as parents and aunts, uncles, caregivers will advocate for our children, because there is no way that you're going to tell me that my child can have whatever hairstyle it is we pay for. That's not going to happen. It's going to be a lawsuit. It's going to be a social media blast. It's going to be something.
Right.
And I know we passed over that earlier, but we had some notes where different places had passed laws, like California passed a law about not discriminating for hair in the workplace and in schools.
UPS is starting to relax some of their laws. It's 2020, and they're starting to let their drivers have beards and afros and cornrows and things along those lines. So yeah, it's
starting to
allow.
Is little Zachary and Brendan, are they being allowed? What are they having? Does anybody ask these questions? Nobody thinks about equity.
Yeah.
What are you asking the people of color to do versus the white folks to do? I'm glad we're thinking about that now. I'm glad people are thinking about that now, because it's so uneven and so unfair, unjust.
I really hope
the natural hair that's growing out of our heads.
Yeah. I really hope that by the time you all's kids come, high school, college age, that these things won't be questions. There won't be policies in their high school agendas that say you can't braid your hair, you can't twist your hair, you can't wear your natural hair. Because like we were talking about earlier with that young man that was the wrestler, Brandon made a good point. That takes a long time to do. So
yes, it does.
It's not really fair to change the rules halfway through the game. I know that some people are doing right now, trying to change rules in the middle of something, but
trying to delegitimize stuff.
Yeah, but you can't be changing the rules in the middle of the game, and that's not even a fair policy to have. Because, like you said, if little Johnny wants to grow locks, is anybody going to tell him he can't? If little Bobby wants to have them, is anybody going to tell him he can't? So,
what does your hair say about you?
I was saying earlier, I think it says many things, but one is that I hope is that I'm laid back and easygoing. I don't take myself too seriously. Because I will show up, not necessarily at work, but in social circles. I don't have a need to have I don't have to have everything in place. I like the fuzzy or whatever.
I feel like I'm being attacked.
No. This is for me, intrinsically to Simone. But I will also say that I noticed that it trickles down. It's not just hair. If I feel more confident with my hair looking the way I want it to, then that goes off into my clothes and the colors that I wear, which hasn't been able to be realized because of COVID. I work at home, I don't go anywhere. So
but you dressed up tonight, though.
I wanted to have my nice shirt on, but
off the shoulder shirt. I see.
Right. Hold on. Let me get it symmetrical.
Show her shoulder meat.
Your grandmother's gonna get me. But it trickles down into shoes. How high are those heels? You know what I mean? And I love high heels. So it's just from top to bottom. When we can feel more confident and more authentic, just feel better. I do. I feel better.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think I tie my hairstyles to feeling confident now. I also think that hopefully the versatility that I've been able to show over, especially the last 9 months. Oh Lord, 9 months of quarantine. I hope it's been able to show that I'm open to changes. Because even in the beginning of my natural journey, I was like, one style. Y'all gonna get the twist and that's it. And Simone was like, you could take them out and you can. I was like, nope, that's all you get. So, I hope that's it. You get one style. So I would hope that, my hair now shows that I'm open to change, and, it might be slow and gradual, but, I don't mind doing something different and mixing it up a little bit here or there. And I do think trying a new hairstyle, sometimes it helps build my confidence, because if it's well received, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I can start doing this and, maybe wearing something I wouldn't normally wear or trying a different color I wouldn't normally try. So I do think hair ties a lot into confidence and how we feel about ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 100% with you. Like, I feel more confident now that I found something that works well for me,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that shows up in a lot of things. The hairstyle that I've been getting, my lock style and whatnot. I'm branching out in my colors of what I'm wearing
Mm-hmm.
pre-COVID. Uh, uh, but I'm branching out more. I feel more confident in myself. It's like, oh, this is the style that works well for me. Okay, and it's funny how we can see how when you get that style and when you get that hair that works good, it's almost like that fresh haircut confidence boost
Mm-hmm.
where it's just like I feel like I'm just all right, I got it. I'm on
Yeah.
it right now. Like,
Feeling myself.
I'm secure. What I'm saying is the truth.
Yeah.
And it's really it's crazy, but it really has helped my confidence level. Whether it's subconsciously or not. But I want people to see that I'm real chill, real laid back, and you know, because I wear a lot of caps, a lot of hats,
Mm-hmm.
normally. But I want to be laid back. I want to give them that I'm laid back, but can be chill at the same time.
Well, you all, this has been more fun than I thought it would be. This conversation.
She always approaches the episodes with great angst.
She does. She does. With a capital A for angst.
Listen, there's a lot of thought that goes into these episodes, and I really enjoyed this. And the hour is getting late, y'all.
Yes.
So do y'all want to
it is.
shift
It
to?
is.
Yes.
Right,
Do y'all want to shift to self-care?
y'all know I gotta go to bed in 30 minutes.
I know. I figured about so you can get up and clean
It's
some
almost
more.
time. He's only got like 6 hours before his alarm goes off. So
Don't remind me. Do not remind me.
What y'all got on deck for self-care?
I know for me it's reading. I got a book that I'm really trying to get through, and I actually I'm not starting it, but I have joined a book. Well, we're getting together a book club with some people that I graduated with.
Why you tell Simone that? Why you
I've
tell
been
Simone
trying to do
that?
a book club. I've been trying to do a book club since March in crickets.
So it's clear you don't want to start a book club with us.
You just don't want to start a book club with me.
Didn't I just say I wasn't starting it? This is a book club.
Whatever, clean it up.
It's radical Black thought,
Mm.
and they're starting it. I'm not sure when is actually starting it up. So yeah. So I'm doing some more reading now. I'm reading about the Harlem Renaissance right now. So
Simone, I'll join your book club.
Thank you.
Friend.
I too will be reading the books that I told you all about, Rage and the Jennifer Lewis book, and trying to get to bed early. I'm not going to be on Brandon's level, but midnight would be nice for sure. Midnight would be nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, we have different motivation. I stay up late because that's when it's quiet. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, this is my quiet time. Because everybody sleeps. Sean goes to bed right around 10:30, like 11. And so I have my,
quiet hour.
So reading for me.
Yes. And mine is that, I made fun of Brandon because he had a pre-Thanksgiving hair appointment, but I too have a pre-Thanksgiving hair appointment. Even though we're not going anywhere.
We ain't going nowhere.
So that's going to be my self-care, getting my hair done. Because y'all know washing your hair is a task, especially as your hair grows, the washing is difficult. So having somebody else, take their time and wash my hair is a blessing. So I'm just going to welcome that. But yes, I did make fun of Brandon for his pre-Thanksgiving appointment, and I have only to find out that I have one of my own scheduled.
I have a post one, December the 2nd. I will be in there. Hopefully I'll get some braids before. I was supposed to have braids now, but that fell through. Yeah, hopefully before Christmas.
You were supposed to have braids months ago.
I was. It fell through. But
yeah, well, I hope you guys just, the summation of this episode, and we've said it a few times, your hair is your business, so I think that's probably our end note.
Stuff. What was the time? Hair health, hair love, Now you can't touch my hair.
Yes.
That is a synopsis. And keep your mask on.
Yeah. Look at Brandon doing the dodge.
Right.
Doing the Matrix.
What?
So
you all, thank you so. Oh
no, you're going. That's what I was gonna say. Just
I was saying
yeah.
thank you all for tuning in. Please don't forget that we're gonna do a watch party tomorrow at 8:00
ish.
Yes.
Ish?
I mean, when they watch this, it's gonna be today. So no.
Y'all see it on Monday, okay? Monday, right now.
Right now. You're watching it right now.
I hope you've been commenting. I hope you've been sharing.
Thank you all for the extra support. We really do appreciate it.
Yes.
This is our 25th, so I ain't gonna edit nothing. I'm gonna let all this ride. So y'all enjoy the comics. But until next time, again, like Simone said, thank you all. We appreciate you all tuning in. Continue to stay safe. Those numbers are going up, guys. Be serious. Wear your mask.
Wear your mask.
Wash your hands. Please wash your hands.
Please wash your hands.
Yeah. 20 seconds.
Yeah. Do that.
Lather.
Lots of soap, like Brandon. Just lots of soap.
Too much soap. Too much.
And Thanksgiving's coming up. Y'all don't need to gather in large clusters. Stay in your homes.
My mother-in-law, I have to tell you this. My mother-in-law said, yeah, they're saying that we should eat outside and one person should make the plates. And I thought, I wonder where she wants us to go.
We're gonna do that.
Where would you like us to
Where
go?
are we gonna do that? Oh yes. And we will have a special Thanksgiving episode for you guys next week. So we hope you all join us for that. Until we come back together, just want to remind you all, it's always a good day to get justice for Breonna Taylor. So until it comes, we're asking for that still. And,
Trump, you are leaving the White House soon. It's gonna happen. It's gonna go down.
You gotta go.
You got a few more days left, y'all.
Your job.
The angels from Africa, they're coming. They're coming.
They've been dispatched for you, sir. They're coming for you. Strike. Yeah. So, and Brandon's favorite part. Until next time, we
remain yours.
Bye, y'all.